Yeah, Shelley's, I'm definitely going to have to clean your glass tomorrow. Yeah, that looks like my face did after I cut the grass. We'll have to tell people about that later, won't we? Hey? Yeah, yeah. Should we get on with it? I suppose we'd better. Yeah, you reckon? You telling me to? Okay. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Ah. Bonsoir, bonsoir. Allo, ahoy, willkommen, welcome, hello, greeting. Scotty, how you doing, my friend? And Yella is walking with the dog. I nearly misread that. How you doing, my friends? Hope all is well. Hi, Giggler. Just pop a cat. So yeah. Yay, I had a week off. Does it feel like I've had a week off? No. Does it feel like I need a week off? Second favourite Ginger Aussie, how are you? Ooh dear. That's going to upset Adele. So yeah, lots of catching up on jobs around the house and garden, and minimal amount of fish tank maintenance. Going for a bike ride, spending more money than I should have done. Accidentally ingesting cat poop. Probably not the highlight of the week. I'll give you that one. Probably the low light of the week. That. We'll get onto that in a bit because that's fairly grim. Yeah, we'll let there be a few more people here. Bun Bun! Oh, first of all, big hug, Bun Bun. Oh, you poor dear, haven't listened to me sing. That's never a good thing. And there is a reason I don't get, copyright strikes. Is because the algorithm can't recognize the fact that I'm actually singing this. It's like, what is this horrific noise? Is it a fax machine? Oh, sorry, Del. You have a hug and a kiss and a woo cheeky butt squeeze. Yes, I shall get around to that. We're not too late. Well, I did say you were my second favourite Ginger Aussie. My favourite Ginger Aussie being Tim Minchin, and I'm sure you probably don't mind being second to Tim Minchin. Yes, he is epically funny. I mean, he must be famous over there as well. It's mainly because I've been watching some of his videos lately. His songs, I should say. They always give you a good crack up. Right up there with Kevin Bloody Wilson, just a little less sweary. But, it's just the Aussie way of speech with Kevin Wilson, I think. I've had an absolute of a day. Yes. Mentally, he is, yes. He doesn't necessarily look smart. He's kind of like me in that you could dress us up in a really expensive suit and whatever, and we'd still look scruffy. But yeah, so accidental ingestion of cat poop, gardening, bike ride, number, florist, water changes, tidying up the man cave. And I don't mean trimming my hole. Yeah, I never said he was a nice person. A musical comedy performing Aussie. And to my mind, there's only two of them we can mention. The third one we're not really allowed to mention anymore. And he sung songs about tying kangaroos down and little boys. The warning signs were there, really, weren't they? Yes. You do find that with quite a lot of comedians, though, they are rather unpleasant in real life. Weirdly, it's the ones who I don't actually find funny that are generally the nice people. Yeah. But yeah, so I suppose we're all wanting to. There should be audio. Hello, Linkbot. Yeah, I suspect Bunny's accidentally turned something down. You're holding the phone and got your finger on the volume button by any chance? That might be my voice is crackly, or the fact that we have a new air pump that's making things noisy behind me as well, or just internet, or really worn out computer that's struggling. Be one of them. What was I? Yes, so got a new air pump this week, which I will do a video on. It's a no name brand, but you know, like a lot of the no name brand stuff, it is the same thing as the brand name stuff, just with a different label on it. And yeah, it's producing plenty enough air for all 6 of the quarantine fry rack tanks, and it's silent. I mean silent. It's, you know, you got to get your head like that far away from it to hear a slight hum. When I go on my bike ride, it was just a short one because I haven't been on a longer bike ride for a while. So it was, I did 16 miles, just up to Wyndham, pop into the store that is the same chain that is in that town, just to say hello. And then across via Silfield, stop for lunch at the lake, said hello to Black Shuck again. I was going to get some, yeah, it is in my book. I did have an ulterior reason to go to the lake, is because that's the only place I know of lately, or locally, sorry, that actually has alder trees, so I could collect alder cones. I thought, yeah, I'll get some more alder cones while I'm there. Yeah, I didn't, because the lake's somewhat flooded, and the place where I got the alder cones from, that tree, I didn't fancy wading out about 20 feet into the lake to get to the tree. The little bench by the side, the water was basically lapping up against that bench, so a little bit wet. We'll leave that till a bit later in the year again, ride down there again and get another bag full. Yeah, I'd say the water level was about 2 or 3 feet up on where it should be. Yeah, around about a metre high, I'd say. 3 feet, yeah. So I did the ride. And I was like, yeah, you do need a better seat and you do need better grips. Thing with bikes is you change things as you go, and yeah, it's not quite right. So that was the other things I ordered from Spamazon this week. It was a new set of grips and a new seat or saddle. Let's just say I went for the more expensive versions these times. This time, the ones that do actually do what they say on the tin. Yes, both made in Germany and designed in Germany by Germans, not the rip-off version in the Far East. Oh, I've got the lycra pants with the padding. They actually made it worse, if anything, because yeah, I'm a weird shape. If I get them tight enough that they don't move, then I can't breathe because I breathe through my stomach a lot. I know, weird, huh? Because I've got the gut. So if they're tight enough that they don't move like around my thighs and my buttocks, then they're too tight for my gut. If I get them to fit my gut, then they're too loose. Yeah, I'm not sure which is worse, seeing me or hearing me. Yeah, I don't know. I can go and grab the shorts if you want, the undershorts. Yeah, let's do this for a laugh. And then, yeah, because baboon butt. Let's just grab them. Right. Now, this is inside out, and I'm not going to put them on because that will get a community strike. Yeah. Ooh. I think I'm literally just a bit too heavy. Because it's like, you know. Yeah, but if I put them on, then it looks like I pooped myself. Which is why I like to wear loose shorts, because then it doesn't look too much like I pooped myself. It's not a good look. Mind you, none of the cycling clothing is a good look. No. Men over a certain age should not be wearing a lycra. Let's just put it that way. And by over a certain age, I mean about 3. Because no one wants to see how skinny you are, how tiny your waist is, how little arse you've got, or see your package bouncing around in the front. It's not like a lady's package bouncing around in the front, which is pleasant to see. I think we can all agree that's far preferable to a man's junk jiggling about in tight white lycra. Just don't. All them weird shoes that you can barely walk in that have got solid one-piece carbon fiber sole with a screwy clippy thing in the front, so you just go click 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 and nearly fall over every 5 seconds. No, just have normal pedals and wear normal trainers. You're not competing for an Olympic gold medal. You don't need that every little tiny millisecond of advantage. Yeah. I know. Says the guy who used to race radio controlled cars and would spend inordinate amounts of money on them. But then I was competing at a higher level than most of the people who wear Lycra are. Yeah. So what else can we waffle about? And if you saw this week's video, one of the very few who did, thank you. There was waffling about lids on tanks going topless or not. So talk about jiggling bits made me think of this. Yeah, as I mentioned in there, did get a replacement light for the Fluval Flex. It was one of those weird ones. It said it was the 57-litre light, and the picture was of the 57-litre light. And a bit further down in the description, it said 34-litre. And yeah, it was a 34-litre. So technically, it's too small and don't fit, but I drilled 4 small holes in the lid and used 2 cable ties, and it fits absolutely fine and is more than bright enough for the tank. I mean, I've had to turn it down because at full blast it was too bright. Yeah, so I've not looked at comments, but I may have upset a couple of scapists, but then I normally do when I talk about these things. If I talk about anything to do with fish tanks, I upset somebody. Because it doesn't follow their view of what a fish tank should be. That's better. That got rid of it. So yes, and today, so Mary and I went out. So I'm looking for some inspiration for some new fishies because I have space and quarantine tanks available for once. We've got a few kind of ideas. Emperor tetras look cool because purple. Cherry barbs are cool. The place we went today did have some longfin cherry barbs. So I was like, they're kind of cool. Then I saw the rhombo barbs, which is basically a barb shape, but they look like, well, there's sort of slightly less of a barb shape than a tiger barb. But they got the same or similar colouring and patterns to a clown loach. They're cool. And we got a second, not a first, a second. They actually had Nanacara anomala for sale, golden eye cichlids. I say they had them. They had females. They didn't have any males. And they really didn't look happy. Very washed out and low coloured. And they had their numbers wrong on them as well. They said they were good in pHs up to an 8. And I'm like, no, they're not. They might survive in it, but they won't do well. Trust me. So yeah, there's some interesting. So I've not really looked at many tetra species or smaller sort of schooly type fish species. So once the clicky boys have finished their jobs, then I will have space for some. Also, I've been eating egg quite a bit this week, so a bit guffy. Ooh, egg and garlic. So Guffy the Vampire Slayer. What else? What else have we been up to? Nothing hugely interesting. Oh, woke up to an unexplained scratch on my shoulder the other day. So I guess that'd be one of the ghosties trying to tell me something during the night. It's like a cat claw scratch down my back of my shoulder, but not had anything that would do that. So, and it wasn't there before I went to bed, and it was when I woke up. So, yeah. Here's what I find out in the news that something happened locally that was within viewing range of my house, and I was just oblivious as usual. But yes, do we want to get to the low point of the week, and we'll make everyone leave to go and vomit? Because I nearly did. So I was out in the front garden. I had cleared, I thought, all the cat eggs out of the way before I got the strimmer out, or the weed whacker, whichever your preference of choice is. Because the grass is long. It's been 6 months at least since I cut it last. So there I am, streaming away. And I hit a cat diarrhea that I had missed tidying up, which proceeded to spray everywhere. And I had my mouth open. Yeah, I had cat poop sprayed all up my face and in my mouth. I mean, I'm glad I can't smell it, because if it tastes anywhere near as bad as it smells, yee, God, that was nasty. Thankfully, no ill effects other than feeling a bit straight away, but yeah. And that is the story how Sharpe accidentally ate cat poop. I had to clean it off my face, off my glasses, put the clothes in the washing machine, all sorts. And that'll be Mary's just got home, and it's just about still light. Is there anyone actually there, or am I on my own? There's cat poop, lights, pump, grit, saddle. I think that's about everything. I don't think, as I say, cleaned out the man cave, so I can actually get in there now. So if the urge to make some models does ding, then I can go up there and actually do it. Not go, oh yeah, I do fancy gluing some plastic together or painting some stuff. I can't actually get to the bench to do it, and the bench is a tip as well. So yeah, I can do it now. Yay! Yes, there we go. And yeah, I've definitely got to clean the glass off the Shelly tank because it's giving me flashbacks. Definitely too much of something in the water in there. But what I will do is I will remember to clean the glass before I do the water change, so that at least then I take the muck out. It doesn't just get recirculated around the tank and stick somewhere else. And as everyone's being quiet and I've kind of run out of things to say, let's look at some fish, shall we? Oh, we're going to have to go under and through. So, yes, Shelly dwellies. Yeah, that does look remarkably like my face did after the cat incident. But yes, we have many Shelly dwellies. With many baby Shelly dwellies as well. For some reason, they're all virtually hiding over in the same corner. Oh no, they're coming down the front. Yeah. That needs cleaning. Oof. And the usual back here. Baby bristlenoses. Random baby limia. Limia. Oh. A rather grumpy looking happy Cara. Pick your dorsal up, Bert. Hey. Cheer up, buddy. Oh. Yeah, as the male limias doing what male live bearers do. As we can see, empty tank, bar snails, bristlies and limilias, bristlies and cribblies down in, that's the lid, oh god, that's dusty. And we have more bristlies, super red bristlies, and more bristlies. Oh, and do we see a clicky boy as well? Can we reach? Oh, well, there's a dog anyway. And a clicky boy. Two clicky boys. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then shrimplies. So yes. Oh, and ching, new air pump. Yes, it's a massive brick, but that's fine. It pumps lots of air and it's quiet. So yeah, don't mind it being a bit large if it does the job it's meant to do perfectly. Well, it's saying there's still 4 people here, but no one's saying anything. Come on, people. I'm feeling all alone. I'm lonely, I'm ever so lonely. Lonely, all by myself. Ugh. That was a weird one. So yes, another bike ride on, yeah, so water changes tomorrow and fit my new grips and saddle, And then Tuesday I'm off as well, so do my little shopping, Sainsbury's shop, and go on a bike ride. Then go back to work and probably have a large delivery to put away. Yeah. Worse things happen at sea. And then repeat ad infinitum till my next week off, which will be my birthday. Yay! And then I'll have to get a day ahead of things because, yeah, I'll be spending 2 days out of the house with any luck. When I say 2 days, if I can do it in a day, I'll be annoyed because then I'll have carried all the camping gear all the way to the coast and back without needing it. Greg, how you doing? Hope all is well with you. Thank you. Actually, I'm kind of hoping that, bear with me on this one, that for this 100-mile ride, the century, kind of hoping that being slightly less fit this year than I was last year for the 60-mile rides, that I don't then go ridiculously fast and get to a point where I'm like, if I carry on, I can get this done today. That'd be really annoying. Having bought all the gear to like do campy and cookie and sleepy and all that kind of stuff, and then carry it all that way and then not actually bloody use it again would be really annoying. Because, you know, I've got a full set of panniers with a top bag as well, so I can carry all the stuff I might need. And I know that for like 1 day rides, I ain't gonna need that much. I really don't see me doing too many multiple day rides. Maybe one a year, if that. And I'm not getting any younger. Room for a tank, I'm out. I've got room for a tank. I've just got literally no urge to do more water changes, is the main thing. Oh dear. I've realised where my limit of what I'm willing to do is. I'm not going to go ridiculous and have 50, 100, whatever tanks, because all that will happen is the tanks will suffer, the fish will suffer, I will suffer. On the bike ride, yeah, I mean, I'll be taking quite a bit of water, but yeah, no fish tanks. Pardon me. I won't even have anything glass with me. This is the one thing that previous longer rides have taught me, is you can never have too much drink. Non-alcoholic drink. So there'll be, it'll be the 2 3/4 litre bottles that go on the frame, the 1 litre fully insulated jobby that will go in my bag, At least a couple of small bottles of Coke. At least one can of energy drink. And there will be probably 2 places I can top up on the way and on the way back. There'll be more places on the way back because I'll be able to come by the road. But yeah, I don't particularly fancy trying to cross. Well, from Castleacre to the coast, there's nothing, so which is about 20 miles, and there might not be anything at the coast when I get there, like shop-wise. So I need enough food and drink to get me from Castleacre to the coast, back a bit, camp overnight, and then get back to Castleacre in the morning, hopefully, before I can then top up on food and drink and stuffs. I will be taking large amounts of painkillers and anti-inflammatories as well with me. There'll be a first aid kit for me and a first aid kit for the bike. Spare inner tubes. Yeah. I will be very prepared. How long before the Tour de France? Yeah, that's not happening. I mean, at some point I might do the Rebellion Way in pieces, which basically goes all the way around the, well, it goes all the way around the county. So start off, well, it goes up to the coast, which is basically the ride I'm going to be doing, then goes all the way around the Norfolk coast, before coming all the way back along the Norfolk-Suffolk border, and then joining back up again. Yeah, so I mean, if I do that, that'll be in legs, like a bit a year kind of thing. Because what's that's about? What was it? 223k, which is about 140 miles. Which actually don't sound too bad when you think about it like that. When you start getting past the second day of a bike ride, it's, you know, things are going to start hurting, and the will to continue will rapidly decline. So it's like you may well get 60-70 miles done in the first day, and the second day you might do 50. Yeah. And yeah, and on whatever would be like the third day would be, yeah, people wouldn't let you into shops to buy things because you would absolutely stink. Yes, I know. You know, you can spray deodorant and you can take wet wipes. Yeah, but something like that, you just sweat all over. And then sleeping wild. Right, how you doing? How them old wobble monsters? Yeah, I'm alright, hope you are. So yes, cycling long distances. Why I put myself through it, I don't know. When people ask, "Oh, are you doing it for anything? Are you getting sponsorships?" I'm like, well, yeah, the thought had crossed my mind. I said, but you know, if I'm going to get sponsors to do it, I'm going to be wanting to get the bloody money. It's like, I ain't going to want to do all that work and someone else gets paid for it. Oh, got some super whites. Oh, shiny. I did see some in the shop today that I visited, and they were advertised as golden ancestress. They weren't golden. I mean, I'm not saying they were bad. I mean, they were. Sunshine's like Spotty is wherever she's hiding, or Bertie, sorry, wherever she's hiding. So, yeah. And also, they were no, I'd say Sunshine, so leucistic, so not quite albino. They got some colour to them. So think like a L144, but with red eyes. So I mean, it's still a cool looking plaque. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, not for me. And I wouldn't buy them at that size anyway. I'm not kidding. Some of the ones they were selling weren't much bigger than the ones that are in that breeder box. And they were maybe 3/4 of an inch long at most that they're selling bristle noses at, which to me is way too small. Oh yeah, people call it's the same with any fish, really, isn't it? Bristle noses or guppies or platies or whatever, and they just call them whatever they want to and think it means something, and then somebody's kind of got a bit of a clue, looks at it and goes, "Oh, it's a mutt." Well done, you crossbred two similar fish, and you come up with something that doesn't look like either of them. Sup, Salient, how's it going? Exactly, I come up with the better names for fishies. Why are you so serious? Yeah, I'm alright, just everyone else. I mean, I learned to check, did learn this week to make sure to check very thoroughly before taking a weed whacker to the lawn. Thank you very much. Yeah, the lesson I learned is make sure that you get rid of all the cat eggs and the runny cat eggs as well, because they really don't taste good when you hit them with the strimmer and it sprays everywhere. Yeah, I suppose I should have made a video about that. Don't eat the cat eggs. But to be honest, the last thing on my mind when I was sprayed with it was, I can make content. Main thing on my mind was getting rid of the flavour and getting myself cleaned up. Yeah, the making a video about it didn't occur to me till like a few hours later. No, don't do it. It's not worth it. I'll say, yeah. I'm not. I mean, I've done a lot this week. There's not a lot to talk about. I'll say there will be a few videos coming up. Because I've still not made the one about the yo-yo loach species profile yet. And I do want to do a relatively short video about the new air pump. And no rye, I didn't buy a Higa or whatever the heck that's. I had to pronounce it sillily because otherwise I'll pronounce it like a word that starts with N, and then I'll probably get that wrong and accidentally say that word. You know, the one that's got all the same letters as ginger, just mixed up a little bit. Yes. One of those cases where I went for an off-brand one that was 23 quid. And it's providing plenty of air to all 6 of these tanks, and it's dead silent. And you know, like all the things like very dear to my heart, packaging and advertising. The packaging very plain, very minimal design. You know, it's a simple plastic box with a lead coming out one end, 2 air nozzles coming out the other, and a bit of an adjustable knobby thing on the top. That's it. The other design stuff in it is designed to make it work, not look nice. I was tempted by the Halia, the Higa had good reviews. Yes, most of which were probably paid for. Yes, because they got in contact with me and said, would you like some products free to review? Yes, please. They went, well, just buy them off of Amazon and leave good reviews, and we will send you, and we will give you your money back. That's a paid for review. That's illegal. And also it's not free, so I've got to pay. And if I don't like them and give a bad review, or a review you don't deem good enough, you're not going to give me my money back, and I'm going to be stuck with something I don't like. And then I can make a video about how bad it is. And then it was like, well, you have a YouTube channel? Yes. Did you not notice this? Yeah. And plus I went with this one because it's got that dude's name in the title. If you look on Amazon, it's a Zacro. Right. Howdy, Muttonka, M&C. How you doing? Hope not in too much discomfort, pain, or boredom this evening. Or morning or afternoon, whatever it is. The other thing with a week off is the timings go out. And it's bad enough for me anyway, because the hours I work, I normally work afternoon, evening, not morning. So I don't really do mornings. So the problem is, if I'm like being all organised, I like, right, get jobs I've got to do done and out of the way earlier, and then I've got the rest of the day to myself. And then I spend the rest of the day sitting there going, need to do something, twiddling thumbs, need to do something. Did I say hi, Debs? I don't think I did. Big huggle. Oh, howdy, Homer. Emerson's been out collecting native fishies. Cool. Again, that's something that more of us should do, I think. I mean, where legal, it's not necessarily legal to do it in the UK. Ironically, you need a fishing license first. Then you can only take a certain amount of a certain species up to a certain size, and yeah. I mean, it is technically illegal to take rocks or sand off of beaches in the UK. I mean, not that stops people. it's actually enforced around here because there is very bad coastal erosion on the North Norfolk coast. Big ponds, so I'm not worried. Cool. I mean, that's the thing is, I also think a lot of native fish. We're not too worried about the minimum size. Most of our fish are fairly small, so the only real native fish we've got that get big would be bream, tench, pike, carp, zander, and eels. The rest of them, most of which stay under about 4 inches long, so they're aquarium-sized fish. Or they only get to a maximum of about 12 to 16 inches. And of all those species, carp aren't actually native, neither is zander. You call them walleye in the States. No native catfish. I mean, we have loaches, which kind of look a bit like catfish, and we have gudgeon, which is a gudgeon, but kind of looks like catfish. But no native catfish. The closest we get is the wels, which, when you're talking about native catfish, is the one you don't want. I mean, they're Northern Europe, so I think some places they might have been in the UK, but not for long. And they got introduced to some fishing lakes because they're big fish and they fight really hard. And they also clean up all the dead fish. But they introduced them to the River Ebro in Spain decades ago now, and they've taken over the whole river. And they've grown really big to the point where you're not allowed, well, I don't know if you're not allowed, but people don't let their dogs in the river. People don't let their kids in the river. Because as they found out, when you put a Northern European catfish in a warm Southern Mediterranean river, or Southern Spain, Northern Mediterranean river, they get real big, real quick. And some of them, they're pulling out over 9 feet long and 300 pounds. So yeah, they can eat people. I think Jeremy, whatever his name is, did a River Monsters episode on them. But yeah, if you just Google Wels catfish, WELS, and you put like record, you'll go, oh. And a couple of years ago, there was an LFS-ish that was actually selling them at like that big. So they're probably a few weeks old. And you need a license to sell them and a license to keep them. And they were just selling them. Yeah, Europe Wels would go grow. Yeah, it'd be. I mean, it'd probably take out all your snakeheads. Then make a start on alligators as well. But yeah. I hate to think how big they'd get somewhere like Florida. I mean, European rivers, they do have a lot of life and fish in them, but they tend to be pretty small and flitty and schooly. But yeah, Wels would probably go for things like snakeheads, That'd be a snack because they're long and thin. They go in straight. Oh, yeah, snakes, snakeheads, turtles. I'm going to eat anything that they can fit into their cavern that they call a mouth. And the thing is, they're not pretty fish either. You know, it's not like there's some catfish are attractive, bristlenoses, for example, or you know, even a simple channel cat or something like that is actually, you know, at least a semi-attractive looking fish. A Wells is just an olive drab tube with a hole at each end. It's really not attractive. You've got sunfish introduced in Austria. I mean, I bet if there was a way to drain all the lakes, use 2.5 kilos, so £5 test curve. Yeah. Yeah. Basically, sea fishing gear. I mean, I know when I've watched like Catfish Terry, I've kind of had a bit of a laugh about his gear and you know, how over rodded and lined and reeled he is for what he's catching. But in general, it does seem to be an American thing that you just get way too big of a rod and line and hooks and everything. Whereas in Europe, we do tend to be a little more subtle about our fishing. I think the idea is that if you have £20 line, it means you can catch £20 fish. Now, if you've got £20 line, you should be able to catch 75 to £80 fish quite easily. I mean, I've caught £25 fish on £5 line on a float rod. So, you know, you don't need heavy gear to catch heavy fish. You just need to know what you're doing when it comes to fighting and playing with fish. And yeah, fishing a lot more complicated than people might realise. But no, yeah, as I say, no real catfish in the UK. Now I'm trying to remember what the Latin name for a Wells is. Silurus glanis. I think that's it. The heaviest rod I've got is what would be a 1 kilo test curve carp rod, and to me that's way too heavyweight for most of the fishing I'd ever do. In fact, I used to use my Brench rod, the Bremen Tench Brench, which is a 2.5 pound, half kilo, 3/4 kilo test curve. Yeah, 3/4 kilo, pound and a half. Yeah, the test curve of a rod is literally measured by tying a weight on the end of the rod, on the tip ring, holding it, and seeing how much weight it takes to bend the tip down 90 degrees. And that's the test curve of the rod. So quiver tip rods, test curve measured in ounces or grams. But basically the tip part of the rod doesn't have any impact in the playing of the fish in that case. Yeah, actually that would be an interesting one. Introduce quiver tip fishing to America. Oh, heck, pole fishing would be funny enough. Ooh, got an itch. Yeah, so in the past when I've talk to people about it, and it's like, you need a license. Yes, you need a fishing license. Right, and then you can fish anywhere. No. Then there are only certain places that you can fish. No, it's still out with the doge. Give the doge a fuss. Scratch behind the ears. A good chest ruffle and a stroke down the back. And a belly rub as well, because belly rubs are awesome. What was I forgot? Interrupted by thinking about fussing doggos. But yeah, so you get your license, and then pretty much most of the places you want to fish, you have to pay a day ticket for. So pay extra just to fish that day. A lot of places are private, so you can't fish there, or they are just do not fish. Some places are syndicate, so you've got to be in the syndicate to be able to fish it. Yeah, there's all sorts of laws and rules and stuff. You have to use landing nets. You have to use unhooking mats. No barbed hooks. Certain baits get banned at certain lakes and rivers. And people try and find a way around it or get upset when they get caught doing it. And unless it's game fishing for basically trout, maybe the odd salmon if you're really lucky, it's all catch and release. G'day Bruiser, how you diddling? Yeah, we're not either. No live bait. You can use dead fish, but you can't use live fish. In fact, the only live baits you're allowed to use now are worms and maggots, or any other small bug type thing you might find. And given some of the baits I've caught fish on, there's all sorts of work. Enjoying the sun, well, okay, for you it's been raining here all day and it's dark now, so I'm fine with that. And it can rain all day tomorrow as well. I don't care, because I've not got to go out. As long as it stays dry for like Tuesday. If it's dry Tuesday, I'll be happy. Then I can go out for a bit of a, not a zoom, but a trundle on the bike and get a few more miles under my legs. So yeah, dry and not windy, that's what we want. I say miles on my legs, it's not my legs that struggle. Ironically, for someone who spent so long single, yeah, it's my wrists that cause me the most problem, followed by my, well, back and hips. But hopefully the new seat will fix, the saddle will fix that, and the new grips will hopefully reduce the amount of carpal tunnel issues I have. It had been raining and cold. I mean, it's not been cold here. It's been quite pleasant actually, but yeah, it's just been nice to have a few days where it hasn't been absolutely tipping it down with rain. I think we've basically had the wettest winter on record. It's just absolutely piddled it down. Proper storm, deluge, downpours, and not just for a few minutes at a time. We took days. So everywhere's still flooded. And as soon as the floodwaters start to recede, it rains again. And nothing's actually really draining away that well because everywhere's waterlogged. Which could make, if it doesn't pick up in the next month, could make 100-mile ride quite interesting as half of it's off-road. Yeah, so back to fishing baits. Most of the time I either used sweet corn, pellets, spam, bread, and the pedigree chum mixer biscuits, dogs, because they float. Oh, and mini boilies for when I was fishing a method feeder. So it was about the only thing that would survive on the hook, well, on the hook link for long enough. Yeah, we don't put bait on the hook. It goes on a hair that's attached to the hook. The joys of self-hooking rigs. It means you don't have to be quick to strike and get into the fish. You've got to be quick to strike, quick to get into action and grab your rod before the fish drags it into the lake. But yeah, fishing floating baits for carp is awesome fun. And it will seriously improve your casting as well. Because they're generally really close to a bank or a bush or a reed bed. And you really don't want to be hooking that. Yeah. I suppose I could at some point go through the sort of rigs that we use in the UK for fishing. But the last couple of fishing videos I did didn't really do well. So probably best to avoid. Ooh, yeah. That itch won't go away on my leg. I think I may have been bitten by something again. It's because the weather's got better. All the bitey bugs have come out again. Just when my legs had healed up from the last lot. Oh well. One got me on the back of the hand as well. Bloody things. Yeah, we need to get rid of mosquitoes. Or they need to realise that I'm not tasty. And given the amount of caffeine and nicotine in my bloodstream, they'd probably all die shortly after biting me anyway. Perhaps that's the trick. That's how to get rid of them. It's not kill them. It's have something in our bloodstreams that when they bite us, it kills them. Then they might learn not to bite us. That might be the answer. It's like putting witch hazel on someone's fingernails when they keep biting their nails. Because witch hazel is really bitter. It basically tastes like earwax. Any plans for a spooky place in the future? We do. As I say, it's once the weather picks up. It's dry enough to visit these places because they aren't all nicely tarmacked and paved. But yeah, we've got a few places on the lists. There's former workhouse, some churches, A couple of other ideas, possibly some airfields. We shall see. I did ask about filming at work, but we're not allowed to film at work. Obviously, security reasons. Understandable, and I'm not going to risk losing my job just to film a YouTube video. Because I kind of enjoy my job and pays fairly good. So, you know, I'd like to keep it. But yeah, there will be, as I say, it's, again, once the weather improves and we start going out and visiting places again, rather than. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, there'll be. I'll have to get my notebook out and start writing the notes once we figure out where we're going to visit. There's a few churches that I've seen on my bike rides that we haven't visited yet. A couple which, I mean, one especially just felt nice. It didn't have any kind of vibe to it at all. One of them felt really quite nasty, and I didn't even go in the churchyard. Just, you know, there's places you just go past and they give you that kind of creepy vibe. There was one like that. And then there's a couple more that other local people have done videos on that we'd like to visit. But yeah, we'll get round to it. It'll be historical places, haunted places. We go because it's a place to go and it's historical and nice to walk around and look at and explore. And if it happens to turn out to be haunted, then we'll investigate that a bit as well. Yeah. So I think the last one was Thelverton, which was our most intense experience so far. Certainly Mary's most intense experience. First time she's seen apparitions or heard things like directly behind her growling. And I got grabbed around the leg, and yeah, that was an interesting one. So I might take a bike ride back there one day and have a look again. That's quite a way. It's not too bad. It'll be about 15 mile each way. Yeah, listen to me talk about 30 mile. That's nothing. What am I like? I mean, heck, I might be doing this 100-mile one on my birthday. Who else would choose to spend their birthday sweating and panting and not doing what people would normally do on their birthday, given half a chance? I'm just hoping when I see Mary the next weekend that my birthday presents include lots of things like painkillers. Prescription for heavy duty anti-inflammatories. I'm mental. Hey, you only live once, so might as well do it while I can. I ain't getting any younger. I don't really want to be doing like epic bike rides in my 60s or anything, so yeah, Oh, oh, there was a lump in that one. Yeah. So not really been anything new happening around here. Zach's been doing the same things. Shadow's been doing the same things. And at work, Samuel's kind of pretty much just doing what he does. Which is generally freaking out some of the ladies. And, well, not just the ladies, some of the men as well. Pretty much everyone else, to be honest. It's like, if I'm about and he's active, people just like look at me and go, "Was that?" And I'm like, "Yes." But because I don't react in a freaked out kind of way, that kind of calms people down. CBs, I've not used a CB radio since I was about 7. My handle was Weetabix Boy. Yeah. My dad had a CB radio in the car when I was little, and in his lorry as well. So, yeah, breaker 10-4. This is Weetabix Boy. Anything interesting going on? That would have been in the early 80s. So, I'm sure things have come on a bit since then. And there's a guy just over the back that way who's got a ham radio set up. Well, I presume so, given the size of the aerial he's got sticking out the back of his garden, attached to his shed. Yeah, so I've not really got into it as such, but so I did study electronics at college as well, so how they work I find interesting. And again, that was back in the day when it was all individual components, so it would have been transistors, resistors, capacitors, coils, rather than chips or surface mounting or Wi-Fi or anything like that. Good old-fashioned. Back when you had something that was an electronic good, and if it broke, you could open it up and identify the component that had failed and replace it. Even AGZ, or AGZ, because, you know, British. Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'd forgotten about that because I'm not Irish. 10-4, propagation has been great lately from the UK, still enjoying radio. Yeah, so it's not something I can see younger people getting into quite yet. Because it's, well, yeah, it is nerdy and geeky, and it's not really, you know. I mean, if you go back in time, really, radio, CB radio, and ham radio was the Facebook, the social media of its time. It's how you contacted the great wide world and strangers all over the planet. Yeah, I'll say it's certainly something that I would happily watch a few videos on. And then think I knew it all and start talking like I knew it all. And then someone who does know what they're talking about will go, no, that's wrong. But I do tend to pick things up fairly rapidly, so usually I don't go too far wrong. I mean, I generally upset people, whatever hobby I join, so. there were people that were upset with the way I drove and set up cars and stuff when I was driving RC. People who got upset with my thoughts for fishing, fish keeping, scale modelling, pretty much any hobby I have, paranormal investigation. Yeah, there's people who don't like my viewpoints and the way I see things. But that's the same in all walks of life, really, isn't it? You'll get the people who are very much, this is the way, this is the only way to do this. You must do it this way. This is the correct way. This is the only way. And you go, actually, no, you can do it like that. And yeah, actually, that makes literally no sense. Why would you waste time doing that? But you have to do it. Like, no, you don't. Prove it. Yeah, okay, there you go. Oh, joy. And I just don't put up with that, so I just tell it like it is. Even in cycling, you think there's not really much there that you'd offend people with, but I do. Yeah, people. Oh, Adele's back. She, I'm guessing, had a shower or something, or looking after the cat. I'm going to go with Adele had a shower, because then I get to visualize out of coffee. That's not quite as pleasant a visual. We'll stick with shower. Struggling to wake up. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do to help with that, I'm afraid. Oh, trust me, there's plenty who would want to see you in the shower. I know Sam does. And I wouldn't mind either. I'm pretty sure most of the other guys here wouldn't mind. You're lovely. Just because you're ginger. And why is it I read that in your accent? Probably because I've heard it in your accent quite a few times. That's the kind of phrase that I'm so used to hearing from all sorts of people and all sorts of walks of life. That, or you can't say that. Why not? It's when you make a really crude joke that is so crude no one gets it for quite a while. And you just leave it go. You don't try explaining it. You just leave it. And like about 5 minutes later, you get, oh, Jesus Christ, you filthy. Finally got it then. You can't say that. Yeah, I just did. We were talking about children with special educational needs at work the other week. And I thought saying special needs was okay, because no one has said you can't say that anymore. Apparently you can't. I was like, what? That's like the politically correct, nice way of putting it, isn't it? Well, what did you call them when you were that age? Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, special needs is the politically correct version of what we would have called them when I was at school. growing up, we was all special. We are. We're all special. We all have our own special needs. Mine are caffeine, nicotine, and to be left the hell alone. But yeah, I'll say the sort of things we would call, yeah, literally you can't say these days. Yeah, we all have special abilities, exactly. I can upset people. Especially my mummy told me so. I'm weird. What other special abilities do I have? I've got my spidey sense. Not everyone has that. Yeah, you're almost as good at upsetting people as I am, Adele. Come on, you manage to upset people enough that they go into a channel blocked. Oh dear. I still think it was just some trolls though at some point. Or you said the wrong thing. Yeah, exactly. But I don't get it so much these days. The trolls seem to leave me alone now. I mean, I didn't actually set that you got to be a subscriber to chat today because I thought, I wonder. We've not had any trolls turn up, so perhaps the trolls have learned to leave Sharpe alone. Because Sharpe plays with the trolls. Sharpe plays with the trolls and then ends them. Because Sharpe is the biggest troll of all. Yeah, I figured out they couldn't wait. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. What's the saying? The old saying was, "Don't bullshit the bullshitter." Don't troll a troll. Yeah. I mean, anyone who's been here in chat when they have turned up in the past, it hasn't happened for years now, but yeah, I have fun with them. They end up leaving and they've lost. Yeah. They don't come back with multiple accounts and try and carry on. Right, is Melvin going off about his mother-in-law as soon as he changed his name again? Oh dear. Yeah. Bless him. Yeah, it's a bit hard to build a following when you keep changing your name every 3 months. It's not like you're called a fat or anything. Or was it his grandmother he originally named the channel after? I don't recall. It's probably a good reason I don't watch too many live streams these days. And the ones I do, I pick and choose carefully. Yeah. I pick and choose the ones that I know can take my sense of humour. So if I was awake and about and not doing other stuff, I would certainly be in Adele's streams because I know she can take my sense of humour. Same with Blackie, Pam, Joel can just about take it, although sometimes he doesn't quite get it. Other more straight-laced streams or people who are of a more sensitive nature, shall we say, I just don't, because it's just not worth the grief. And I really should just get up and get some more backy. But I can't be bothered right now, so I'm just going to keep emptying out dog ends. It's alright, it's not gross. It's not like they've been sat there for weeks. These are actually today's dog ends in the ashtray. I know I am, me dearie. It's either I'm I'm either asleep or, you know, otherwise occupado. Now, mare is probably more accurate, to be honest, as in short for nightmare. Not the same with Andrew's streams, because I know Andrew can take my sense of humour. He gets it. He knows me. He knows I don't mean it when I make a wisecrack or a double entendre. Well, usually they're single entendres. Or have a bit of a flirt with a lady. Some people can't understand that you can do that just in a light-hearted manner. Ooh. Birthday in 2 days, just saying. I shall have to. I will try and remember and try and do my best. So if you call it like birthday stream, then I might remember if I see a notification. Just in case I don't. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Deli. Happy birthday to you. 18 again, yay! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! And we can also have a bit of "It's my party, I'll cry if I want to." Or the altered images. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Altered Images, whose lead singer Claire Grogan went on to play Christine Kochanski in Red Dwarf. She was the original Kochanski before they changed it and put new Kochanski in, who admittedly was hotter but couldn't act as well. But yeah, so there we go. There's more singing done. More, yeah. I apologise. Hey, I'm not all hip and tech. I don't have a button I can press and it plays a tune and puts up memes and stuff. So you just have to put on me singing at you, I'm afraid. Have I got any candles? Probably not for your age. Oh, have you clipped that, have you? Oh dear, that's going to be going up on your channel, is it? I'm special. Sharpe sang happy birthday to me. Oh boy, I wouldn't. That'd be a good way to get your channel demonetized. Or just demonized, is probably more accurate. Got Garcia, Tommy and Carl the other day. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I can't see that Garcia would be shy about anything, and Tommy certainly not either. Where is the old pinball wizard anyway? Probably scorching through chicken poop in his bare feet, or digging a hole in the garden, or DIYing a tank stand, or swearing at the kids. Actually, I think he said the only time he puts like Crocs on or whatever when he goes outside into the garden is when he's filming or when he's going into the chicken coop. As anyone who's ever had furry friends like cats and dogs, we've all come downstairs in the middle of the night or early in the morning when it's still dark and stepped in something and it's gone squelch between our toes. And given this week's experiences, I'd much rather step in it. Yeah, it does suck. You've just woken up, you're just coming downstairs and you've not even turned the light on yet, but you know you just stood in it and you're like, now I've got to go hobble to the light switch, making sure I don't put that part of my feet on the floor and spread it around. Then I'm going to have excited doggo or kitty. And I've got to try and clean it off my foot and then clean the floor. And then I've got to start getting ready for going to work or whatever. It's just not a good start to the day. I'd rather step on Lego. At least that just hurts for a bit and you swear and it's done with. Dizzy's a good girl. And most cats tend to be. They tend to go in the same places, out of the way. It's just dogs that will drop it wherever they happen to be. I just feel sorry for whichever cat it is that's been having diarrhea on my garden. They can't feel very well. I'm guessing it's probably some kind of flea treatment or something. Oh, Danny boy, it is St. Patrick's Day for you. You're about as Irish as a can of special brew. Are you about as Scottish as a can of special? No, special brew is Scottish. Yeah. I love you, yes I do, don't you know you're my special brew. Bit of Bad Manners as well, why not? And if you don't know who Bad Manners are, Bust a Blood Vessel in particular, there is a video on YouTube of them performing Can Can on Top of the Pops. Watch that. I mean, I don't mind if you leave now to go and watch that, because trust me, it's worth it. Seeing someone the size and build of Bust a Blood Vessel wearing a dress and bother boots doing cartwheels and high kicks is just hilarious. Good evening, good Adele. Exactly, Debs. Who can't love Bad Manners? There we go. Dell's found it already. Yeah. Special Brew, Can Can, Lip Up Fatty. Oh God, what are the other ones? They're the three that come to mind anyway. Sort of post-punk ska comedy sort of band. Very light-hearted. Laters, Bruiser, have a good one. Don't work too hard. Don't relax too hard. Just be. That's the best way to be. Yeah, they're basically the ska version of Primus. Primus sucks. Have to get that in there before anyone else does. Actually, that was one that was on one of the Reddit fish keeping pages. Someone wanted to know what should I name my new bristle nose. I said, call it Primus. And what? Primus sucks. most upvoted comment on the thread. It's like, yeah, they didn't get the joke. Come on, we're talking about a band with the song named "We're Known as Big Brown Beaver" on the album "Sailing the Seas of Cheese." Yeah, that should be enough to show you how seriously they take themselves. I had to go watch those psychics with press and the cartwheels. I mean, yeah, you got to love Buster Blood Vessel. And the fact that he didn't have a heart attack doing that was quite impressive. I'd probably. Flecko was a race car driver, drives so goddamn fast. My name is Mud. Oh, Earth Eater. If anyone's got a Geophagus, call it Mud. Especially if it's a murderous one. Oh, yeah. Primus, 3 amazing musicians, decent songwriters, just don't take themselves too seriously, which is why Primus Sucks kind of became a thing. I mean, when Jason Newsted left Metallica or got fired, they were looking for a replacement bassist. Various people came and yeah, I knew you'd like Mud. I wasn't talking about the band Mud. We were talking about the song "My Name Is Mud" by Primus. But yeah, Mud were. I did kind of have you badged as a glam girl. Bit of Mud, bit of Slade, bit of T-Rex. All presented by Jimmy Savile on Top of the Pops. But yeah, Primus awesome. But yeah, so it was, yeah. So Metallica were looking for a new bassist, and I were interviewing James Hetfield about it, and he said, yeah, Les Claypool from Primus came for an audition, but we couldn't give him a job because he was too good. I'll be your metal guru any day, Debs. I won't bang your gong though, or ride your white swan. Yeah, Tommy's too good. Yeah, sorry mate, you're too good for our band. It'd be like if someone like Ellis Tapadio Siberiano was, going for a gig as a drummer in a band. It'd have to be someone like Rush, or Winter Sun, or it'd have to be someone, or Lorna Shore, with an amazing drummer. I would say enjoy your day at work, but I hope, what I'll say, Adele, is I hope it's not too bad. I hope you don't get any awkward customers and managers leave you alone. There we go. Have a wonderful one, my dear. Mwah. And in case I do miss your birthday, an extra mwah. Raining and shitting outside, so it'll probably be quiet. Just what you want. Exactly. Yeah. It's not so much that Les has got his own style, it's more he basically just reinvented how to play a bass and figured out how to do stuff that people are still trying to copy. I mean, if you've heard, was it him and Buckethead with, I forget who the drummer was. Yeah, it was him and Buckethead did a live run through of Tommy the Cat at double speed. What? Tell me the cat bass line is bad enough at normal speed. And heck, it's almost impossible to play slowed down as well. I'm no awesome bass player, but yeah, I can play a stringed instruments. And back in the day, I did try and figure out some of them, and yeah, no, it's just not happening. Like, yeah, I know where my fingers should go and how they should move. I can barely manage it at half speed. And I could play Muse, so you know, it's not like I sucked. Not as hard as Primus, anyway. Then my fingers all kind of gave up the ghost, and it was like, you try and move your fingers, you know where your fingers meant to go, and then they don't go there, and they won't do what you want them to. Yeah, and there aren't many other bass players who actually play chords as well. Yeah. And so, and even then, he still doesn't take himself too seriously when he's on stage. Does his silly dances and stuff. So it's all good. If I was putting together a dream band, he would probably be the bass player. Maybe. Although the thing is, if you're putting together a dream band, it's like choosing your favourite drummer, bass player, keyboardist, guitarist, vocalists. They might not work well together. You know, you'd end up with someone like Tuomas Holopainen on keyboards and Les Claypool on bass and pick a drummer, preferably a live Sharpe. Okay, we're stuck. But yeah, they wouldn't necessarily be playing their preferred styles. Tony Iommi and Les Claypool, that would be interesting. Very strange indeed. Although, yeah, that would be weird. But now, I think if Les Claypool was playing with another band and playing songs that had all been written, he's not that egotistical that he's going to change it to play it his way. He would play it properly, as it were, which is one of the things you have to be careful of when bands hire new players or musicians or singists or they've got to be willing to do it the way it should be done, how it was written, not put their own spin on it straight away and change it completely. It just wouldn't work. I mean, it's okay if someone's doing a cover version to do it a bit different, but when it's that band's Ingve, yeah, one that would actually work. Got it. Unfortunately, it can't work anymore. Stevie Ray Vaughan and Les Claypool with Neil Peart on drums. You'd have to get a damn good singer or one that would be happy not doing much singing. Singing keyboardist. Tori Amos. There we go. Yeah. Neil Peart on drums, Les Claypool on bass, Stevie Ray Vaughan on guitar, Tori Amos on, well, you'd have Stevie Ray Vaughan on vocals as well, and Les Claypool, with Tori Amos on keyboards and vocals, and just making the place look nicer. mind you, she had a whole bunch of work done and doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't really look like she used to. So we'll go with mid-90s Tori Amos. Mandy, how are you, my dear? Mwah. Ooh. Trying to think. Because Adele was my second favourite Aussie redhead. Ooh. My third favourite American redhead. And I'll let you figure out the other two. Yeah, that would be a seriously cool band. See, I completely forgot it was St. Patrick's Day because, not Irish. Otherwise, I might have said something or done a very, very silly intro or even sillier thumbnail. Whose shins do I need to hit with a lead pipe? Christina Hendricks and Alison Hannigan. Sorry. Claypool with Dimebag would have been interesting. Yeah. The Dimebag would have. Yeah, they would have gelled because Dime was a really nice guy and he didn't have the ego. Because this is the problem when you're putting together super groups is you got egos, and musicians can have very fragile egos. Exactly. It's not like I chose Carrot Top. Adele was second to a man, so although to be fair, that was Tim Minchin, and he is exceptionally hilarious and smart and weird. If I pick Carrot, I wouldn't pick Carrot Top over anyone. I think I'd even pick Donald Trump over Carrot Top. And that's only because I think you could have a slightly more intelligent conversation with Donald Trump. And you'd probably have to get the crayons out to explain your points, but I never did meet Dime. I mean, I did see Pantera once. Can't remember where. Might have been the UEA. Yeah, I didn't get to meet them after the concert, unfortunately. So, from everything I've heard from everyone and interviews I've seen, it was just him and Vinny were just nice guys. Rex as well. It was just Phil who was the egotistical numbnut. And let's just say Phil Anselmo ain't going to be singing Cemetery Gates anytime soon. His voice is ruined. Let's be honest, I could probably do a better job these days. Dime could probably still outdo me on the solo. Vinny on the drums as well. Let's try the. I'm gonna say it's one of those things where I went to so many concerts in the mid to late 90s and early noughties that I forget who I actually bumped into and met. And I was there at the waterfront the night Richie from the Manics carved 4 reel into his arm. When the idiotic journalist, it was Mark Commode, asked if they were for real, because they were a very political, upfront band with a lot of things to say, and Richie suffered badly with depression and anxiety and anorexia and a whole bunch of other mental health conditions. And yeah, asked him if they were for real. So he carved "for real" into his arm. Really didn't think that one through, did you, Commode? That's Kermode, not Commode. So yeah, there was that. Obviously, I met Kurt. Got him to sign me guitar. Didn't meet Trent, but I did meet Charlie Klauser of 9 Inch Nails. Actually, weirdly bumped into Rob Zombie once as well. That was quite a surreal experience. But yeah. The trick is to go to the shows of these bands when they're not big and famous yet, and then they tend to come out after the show and have a few drinks at the bar, and you can have a natter with them. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to you can't blame his voice, Bill Anselmo's, that is, because the lifestyle he was living, the way he was singing, the substances he was putting into his body, yeah, that's why his voice is gone, and his knees. Yeah, the White Zombie days, early White Zombie days, Black Sunshine, Supercharger Heaven. No. Yeah, they played Supercharger Heaven. I think it was before Astro Creep 2000 came out. But yeah. And that was back when everyone was still like, oh, he's scary. Oh. No, he just looks scary. He's actually a really nice guy and really smart. Weirdly, like most metalers are. Yeah, Thunder Kiss 1965, yes. And again, another band I'll never try and sing along to in public, because, yeah, there's more chance of me getting a Rammstein song right than a White Zombie one. At least not without hacking my guts up halfway through, because while I can do the growl and I can't really do the scream as much, but yeah, I can do the metal growl. I'm not going to, because it's not pleasant. That's how you met Fergie. Fergie, another redhead, if you're English. And William. And before they were a big deal, the Black Eyed Peas opened for No Doubt in the late 90s. Did I see No Doubt? I think No Doubt was one of those ones where I had the chance to go and see, and then it's just like, nah, not metal enough. Oh yeah, Blackie Lawless's voice is completely gone. But a lot of the singers of that kind of aggressive music from back then didn't necessarily know how to do it without destroying their vocal cords. So they were literally ravaging their vocal cords rather than doing the distortion above the vocal cords. Oh, and Yella's still on the way home. Tom Kiefer, yeah. There's so many of them. But now the studies have actually been done, and they figured out how to. You can do it without damaging your voice, which is why someone like Tatiana from Ginger can switch it on and off, and her normal singer voice is unaffected. I literally go full on death metal raw, sweet as an angel, and back again. And it's kind of scary. Oh, pardon me. Oh, that's a bit warm. Be all them eggs I've been eating. Yeah, Rob Halford does Watch the Range now. I mean, I've heard, is it Panic Attack, the new song? You wouldn't tell by the singing on that he's nearly 70. Ska rock, yes. Bit of the mighty, mighty boss tones as well, no doubt. Baha adds a pun in there as well without thinking about it. Howdy, Jeff. Just in time for me to bugger off, I'm afraid. So, thanks to everyone who's put up with my inane waffling for the last 2 hours. The bearded wonder, exactly. Yeah, so happy St. Patrick's Day. And I'm not going to do a really bad Irish accent because I can't. Have a good week. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye-bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. I'll give the mic a blowout. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do.